Good stewards strike a match every time they see spiritual darkness. In the gospel passage Deacon Jim just read, Jesus tells us to let our lights shine. He says, do good deeds. Let people see them. Let your light shine. Now you may think that seems to be contradictory to what Jesus tells us elsewhere in the Gospels, that we should not brag. We shouldn't show off. Well, it isn't contradictory. Jesus isn't saying brag about what you're doing. Don't show off, but do let people see it. Because Jesus wants us to show His light shining through us to others. Not so much by what we say. Words are important, but mostly we create an environment in which people can choose to change by our actions. By being Christ in the moment, by doing good deeds constantly in the moment. When my children were small, when Khakis and my children were small, we lived in Nashville, Tennessee, as I've told you many times, and we would occasionally take our children up into Kentucky to visit the caves up there. Father Mike loves caves. And my favorite is Mammoth Cave. We went several times, and there's a spot in the tour when the tour guide turns off all of the lights. It's dark. Pitch black dark. Put your hand right here, can't see a thing. Even as fair as I am, you can't see anything. And then the tour guide strikes one match. And it's spectacular. One match. You can see everyone in that tour. You can see a large part of the particular part of the cave that you're in at the moment. If there's crystals in the wall, you can see them sparkling. One match. Well, Jesus tells us, be like that one match to people around you. As you have heard me say many, many, many times, many times, God doesn't ask us to do big things in this life. All He asks us to do is to be lights to the world by doing little things, with kindness, with love, extending ourselves to others whenever we can. Mother Teresa is, of course, now Saint Teresa of Calcutta. If I asked 1,000 people to tell me something about Mother Teresa, I wouldn't be shocked if not one of the 1,000 told me that she founded an order of nuns that is now worldwide. What the overwhelming majority of those people, if not all of them, would tell me is, Father, she lived in Calcutta. She would go out into the poorest areas of Calcutta. She would find the poorest of the poor. She would feed them. She would hug them. She would kiss them. If they were near death, she would give them extra special attention. She'd sit beside them, whispering in their ears about God's love for them. That's what we remember about Mother Teresa. She did those little things with such great love. So how about us? Let me get practical. What can we do? Well, you make up your own list, but I'm going to throw out some suggestions, little things. Say hello to people you don't know. I do it all the time at Budget Saver, in the hospital. Frequently people think I'm crazy, but from time to time people stop and pause and say, thank you. If you're walking toward a door anywhere, look over your shoulder, and if there's someone within 15 feet of you, hold that door open. Again, people see it, and they're turned on by those little acts of kindness. You get into an elevator, say hello. Those are God's children inside the elevator. When someone gets off of the elevator, wish them a good day. Have a great day. When you get off the elevator, turn around, look at the people in the elevator and say, hope you have a great day. Tell your spouse frequently how much you love them. Tell your children frequently how much you love them. In today's world, practically everyone has his or her own television set because television is so demographically targeted. There's something ideal for both sexes and for every age group. Well, occasionally, turn off your television set, what you're watching, what you like, and go sit with your spouse and or your children and watch what they're watching and discuss the program with them. Join, you hear me say this all the time, join a ministry. Serve people. Even if it's just joining our hospitality ministry and occasionally washing some dishes at one of their functions. Get to know those people. You get the idea? Little things. They add up. We're supposed to be not just lights to the world, we're supposed to be guiding lights to the world. We're supposed to be showing Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who exists in all of us, to those around us. And when I have talked about this to people one-on-one, many say, you know, Father Mike, I think I'm going to turn off people. So, well, that's not my experience. But it's also not my worry. My job is to do the right thing. How people respond to it, that's their business. Let me see a show of hands. It's a young crowd, so I might not get too many hands going up. But how many of you have either seen or at least heard about the television soap opera, The Guiding Light? Yeah, a fair number of you have. Years ago, there was a subway strike in New York City, and the producers of The Guiding Light rented a bus to go pick up all the people who worked on the show. The driver got to a particular location where he was told that someone would get on the bus, and he looked around and he didn't see anyone. But then a man walked up and he looked uptown, looked puzzled, looked downtown, looked even more puzzled. And the bus driver stuck his head out of the window and said, "You looking for the guiding light?" And the guy yelled back, "Look, my life is bad enough. I don't need you religious fanatics telling me how to live my life. Go away." And then he said, "Fill in the blank, you." Well, hey, he's got a problem, not the bus driver, not us, not those of us who in small ways show Jesus Christ. All of us, everyone here, not a single exception, can do all the things that I recommended and many more, because your minds are certainly better for your personal lives than my suggestions. Come up with your own. But do it. Do it. Again, we don't need to found an order of nuns. We don't need to found some new congregation. All we have to do is little things. That's how we show the light of Christ to others. Remember that match in Mammoth Cave. My sisters and brothers, we are all called to be good stewards. And good stewards light a match every time they see spiritual darkness.